system in place to keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same? 1% trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting.
Otherwise, we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go.
And welcome everybody to Suck It. I am the great and powerful King of Kings, Prince of all that is awesome. Derek, how the fuck is everybody today on this Thursday, January 14th of the somewhat fucked up year? Not nearly as bad as 2020, but, 2021, yeah. Give it time. I heard that, and I appreciate that, because that is exactly what the fuck is going on. So, over the last few months, I've been, kind of avoiding the topic of politics and the bullshit that's going on in the world, with the exception of, comedian Steve Hofstetter, who I had on last month. We kind of got into a lot of it then. And tonight, it's going to be appropriate. Because there's, I've kind of gone off track lately with the mental health stuff, just because my mental health was weighing tougher on me every day, so I was trying to forget about it, and that's kind of my bad. But I've been kind of focusing back on it because it's important to me, and I know it's important to you. But with all that said, because of that, I've also been avoiding politics because that brings out my anger and everything else in between. So I figured today would be a good opportunity to merge them both together, especially with the band that I have on with me today. A punk band out of Southern California by the name of Total Massacre. They got a bunch of cool new stuff going on. We'll talk about that. And obviously their political beliefs and the shit that is going on in the world today, because I haven't said enough about it, nearly enough, and I think we need to talk about it. So we're going to do that. So without any further ado, please welcome the members of the band, Total Massacre.
Oh.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I mean, the world's shit, and we're here to talk about it because that's what we do.
Yeah. I mean, we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk music and other good shit too.
I guess we make songs too, but
yeah,
that's like whatever. That's secondary.
That's secondary to making sure your voice is heard.
Right. Yes.
Rage Against the Machine, right?
There you go.
There you go. So, no, seriously, how is everything going, though? I mean, you guys, still decided to put out new music, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
You have no idea the appreciation that I have for indie artists right now that are putting out new music, when some of my favorite bands and some of the bigger bands out there are just sitting at home debating on whether or not they should write a record for a while. So, yeah. First off, I want to go ahead and say I do appreciate you guys putting out new music and keeping the fans, there for you, because that's important.
Yeah, man. Thanks for saying so. I think so too.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like we've all been. I kind of have a downer attitude about kind of things because it's. I guess some of that is like kind of like a persona. Some of that is like, as you said, it's easy to be upset about everything.
Yeah.
But I got to be honest, we've all been super, super fucking fortunate that like we all have our jobs. We're all able to work out from home. We're all safe. We're all, everything has been okay for us throughout all this. Personally, it doesn't make it any better the way things are going, but at least like for us, we're okay, which is what allows us to be able to still be, doing what we're fucking doing and kind of talk about things the way we want to talk about them,
Yeah, absolutely.
We're lucky as fuck. We get it. Don't worry.
So before we go any further, since the entire band's here, why don't we go ahead and, say who you are and what you do in the band. Therefore, people at home know who the hell you guys are.
Oh, yeah, sure. So I am Captain on No Fun, Evans by the Hat. I'm the guy who's fucking screaming over everything. That's what I do.
Yeah, Mike, I'm the guitar player, and well, at least I pretend to play guitar in this band. So.
The riff master.
He's a fucking mastermind. Don't let him fool you. He's like the core of this thing.
I'm Jeff. I play bass, and I also mix our music for us because we're a fully DIY project.
which is fantastic.
I'm Tommy Massacre, and I hit drums usually. Most hitting drums mostly. Yeah.
All right, that's a good answer. So what was the decision that you guys came to still be able to release music right now, even though you guys can't go out and tour it, you can't even play a local show right now? So why, other than what I just said, what was the reason why you guys decided to put it out now?
Does anyone else want to field this?
Well, it was fully recorded during quarantine too, and we actually wrote and recorded. We recorded the songs together, in a safe environment, but they were all written individually from home. Mike would send files to Jim, and Jim would write lyrics to it and say, "Hey, change this, change that." Then it would go back to Mike for revisions, then go to Tom for drum beats, and then it would come to me to lay the bass down, and we all kind of wrote and learned the songs that way and practiced them on our own. And then I think we maybe had 2 rehearsals before we recorded these songs.
Something like that.
I remember like 2, yeah.
And we kind of just like tracked it in pieces, so we were being as safe as we could, as distance as we could.
We did I forget how many songs we did. I guess we did 7. So there's a few songs coming out later this year.
Yeah, I know that there were 2 that we had done right before quarantine.
Yeah, that kind of fucked our. Yeah, so.
And
I mean, like some of this kind of came out of COVID, kind of fucking up our kind of plans. Like it kind of fucked up everyone's plans, because we were gonna like drop a series of singles over the course of 2020. We had tracked a couple, and we kind of dropped a couple like they actually came out on April 1st, like right after everything had gone into lockdown. And then we couldn't like go to do any more for months and months and months. So by the time we were kind of sort of felt safe to record, we had banked like 7 more songs, and they felt like kind of a cohesive kind of whole. So we decided to try to do something fucking different with them in 2021 and make a new thing out of them. So here we are at the start of that, I guess.
So it was basically a mindset of, we recorded this during it, so we can release it now. That's
right. Yeah. Well, and I guess it was also just, I mean, some of it's just like, the practical matter is there's a, it's awfully hard, to track something 1 week and fucking drop it like a week after. There's a lag time in getting stuff done.
Of course.
But we just, I don't know. It's just like we decided this was a good time to drop it. I mean, fuck, we don't know when all this is going to be over. No one who's in charge, it may fucking never be. But it just made sense to do, and we had to get the shit off our chest, because to give a bit of kind of background, too, the way this band kind of sprouted was, fucking post fucking 2016, and we're all in it, and we're all, going insane about everything, and we have a lot of shit that we have to fucking, to express. Mm-hmm. And so 2020 wasn't that much of a change for our mental well-being from that anyway. That's always been kind of how this band has functioned, is like an outlet. So it's kind of just more of the same for us. It's just, maybe more people are in that same boat now. I don't know. I wouldn't want them to be, but that's the fucking world,
I to be honest with you, I don't even know how I feel going forward into the 20th.
No doubt.
The only confidence right now, and we can kind of swerve all over the place because you just kind of brought it up, but the only confidence I have right now, I mean, I have always said that it's not going to be Biden who beats Trump. It's going to be his running mate. And I think he picked the right one to go with. So aside from him, I trust her more than anybody else. Because anyone that can stand in front of the Supreme Court and make a Supreme Court justice cry, I want on my side.
That was a bonus, yeah.
So I believe in her more than I do him.
I mean, I suppose personally. I do too, but that's a real low fucking bar.
It is.
That's probably where I'll set that.
I'm not saying that it's any higher than anybody else, but it's higher than Trump's. But I'm saying I believe in her more than I believe in her. Yeah, I believe in her more than I believe in him.
Sure, that's I would not argue with that. I wouldn't argue with that. But yeah, I don't. It's no, I agree with you in that. But I still would say, I don't know. I don't know if I'm that hopeful, but hey. I mean, I guess you are correct in that it would be hard to be worse. Like, I mean, there's no world in which people who actually fucking believe in the function of government, being in control of the government, is worse, especially during a pandemic, than what we've had so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely, 100%. Like I don't think that's in question. It's a matter of it's a matter of fucking degrees. Like
Yeah.
No,
I mean, you're 100% correct. I mean, it's just I have a hard time believing that for the last 4 years, with all the shit that's gone down, that the person that came in next would do at least one thing better. One thing I can say yes, and as long as that happens, I'm gonna be happy because there's a lot of things that they could do that's one thing better than Trump. I mean, they could just walk the right way and they would win. But you see my point. Yeah. I just have a high expectation for at least succeeding in some way.
It's unfortunate that our bar has been lowered that far, but you're not wrong. No, you're absolutely not wrong. That's where we're at, man.
Yeah.
Totally.
You could almost say that if you don't do something, it's going to be better.
Totally.
Don't
absolutely
at the border from their parents. You start doing that, and that's better. Just stop 100%. Doing it.
Well, it's bad when the people that are retired or chose not to run again or whatever, but a lot of the retired Republican senators and congressmen and governors and everybody else like that have nobody to respond to anyway because they're just not in office anymore, have come out and said, oh, he's done wrong, but the people that are still collecting that dollar, they're like, oh no, he was perfect, we condone his actions.
But those are the same people that actually enabled this from the get-go back in the late 70s and the early 80s. I mean, fucking Reagan, this was happening way even before Reagan. I mean, even Jim talks about, the Southern strategy of Nixon. I mean, you can go back decades. These people have been coddling white supremacists and, racists for decades to get their vote. And, the chickens have come home to roost and now they're panicking. Oh my God, We condone all this. It's like, fuck you guys, man. You guys have you've been doing this for decades. Yeah.
Mountain of evil shitheads of this world that we've embraced. Yeah.
Who is worse? Like the people who continue to embrace it even after the events of the 6th, or people who suddenly have this, we had this moral epiphany.
Right.
Like, what do you mean? You saw that the gravy train was coming to a stop. And you're like, this is a good time to jettison this motherfucker. Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter collected that money. They made a lot of money off of. I mean, the value of Twitter was increased by Trump's presence.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly now we're too good.
I saw something where somebody said, "Well, that escalated 4 years."
Legit.
Yeah, it's just again, I'm just. With because I've seen a lot, whether it was when I was still in Florida to now, 4 years later, 5 years later, however long it's been I've been here. I'm just sick and tired of what's the word? Because false promises I've been used to since I was born. Welcome to America. It's. It's. I just want to finally be able to say, that president did something good for me. Now, Barack did some great stuff, but at the same time, he was fought a lot because of the non-bipartisan, House versus the Senate during his second, his second term. But either way,
a lot of time attempting to compromise with fucking fascists. And
exactly.
Biden's already doing the same thing as of today. So
luckily,
hence my skepticism.
Well, luckily at the same time, at least he has a At least they have control of the Senate and the House right now.
That's true.
So it's going to be at least some things where it's going to be easier to get through. But at the same time,
I mean, depending on what Joe Manchin has to say.
Yeah, or Christian cinema or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or Christian cinema. Yeah,
It's-
I mean, yeah.
we're at a time in our lives, in our country, that is unprecedented. No matter what the argument is, it's unprecedented. I mean, we haven't had an attack on our capital like that since the War of 1812.
It's true.
And
It's
you
true.
know, they didn't even make it there in the Civil War, but you know, and now they have, and that is that's an abomination, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's ridiculous. How are we accepting this today? I mean, why is this acceptable?
I mean, if you want my answer to that, it's because these were people, and this is something I think I've had joked about in various places. I don't know if it's ever been an official post or anything, but or if it's going to make it into a song. But these were people fucking writing on behalf of maintaining the status quo, which is white supremacy.
Yeah.
And so you can get away with a lot when your goal is to not change anything and to keep it exactly the fucking way it is, for the love of God.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of it.
Yeah, that's why the response to the BLM protests was such a,
Yeah.
you know, you saw
Because that was the challenge to power.
dance in DC. You know, it was not what, you know,
Yeah.
there was no storming
Yeah,
the Capitol.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
But it's sad that they actually compare the two.
Oh, sure, of course. But I think that it's it actually becomes pretty easy to figure out how these things are gonna play out, just as long as you understand the relationship, to power, to power and to capital, which are kind of fucking one and the same. And and if you are doing anything to threaten, to threaten that capital in the tiniest way, you're gonna get fucking beat the fuck down instantly. If you're not,
well, I mean,
so what if they fucking bludgeoned a cop, to death with a fire extinguisher? Yeah. Boys will be boys,
Yeah.
You know what?
That's just how it is.
You're 100% right, because what I was just going to say, and you guys can, sorry, I didn't mean to cut anybody off.
No.
If you look back at over the summer when there was BLM, protests in DC, go back and look at some of those photos of the cops and the National Guard that were already there.
It's a fucking
the FBI knew this was going to happen, and they allowed it to fucking happen. And
they lied about not knowing it was going to happen too. By the way,
it came out later. Yeah,
yeah, they straight up just lied about it. So
now they're being more forthcoming. Hey, the FBI is saying, hey, there's going to be attacks in all 50 capitals on the 20th. I'm like, what the fuck? So now you're telling us. So what do you want us to do about it? I mean, fucking do something. Jesus Christ. It's just mind-boggling.
That's infuriating. It's fucking infuriating what happened. But again, the running joke in this band is, it kind of sucks being right all the time, because literally we've been talking about this shit since the day that Jeff, myself, Jim, Tommy, and I all got together. I mean, it's the same fucking shit every single time. And we predicted it, everything, even the album cover, our first album cover. It's literally happening.
Capital burning and
it's literally happening right now.
Doing this.
So it sucks being right all the time. I guess that's my point. So
it just occurred to me that we have I don't want to give away the song or whatever, but we have a song coming out in this next set of songs that is literally that exact conversation. If you are trying to just maintain the status quo, you will get almost no pushback from authority. Mm-hmm. But if you're anti-capitalist or if you're BLM or anything like that, the response is very different.
Yeah, 100%. That is coming. You have that to look forward to. As if we didn't all understand it innately already, but hey, whatever. It's one more song we can throw out there.
Do we just get some news that we weren't supposed to get?
I know it's fine. No, it's okay.
I'm just kidding.
We're I mean, I personally like being super transparent about our band because I think we ought to be. I think that's something like that our tens of fans appreciate. Yeah. And
literally dozens of fans.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, dozens of fans are better than tens of fans.
And there you go.
I don't know if that made any sense, but damn it, I tried.
Tommy is our optimist in the band, is apparently.
I think literally one of our best shows we ever played was at the 5 Star right before this all happened. And it was, I mean, the best energy all of us had. It was fucking good. Yeah. We played in front of like a bartender and like the
that was like a holiday show. Yeah. Like we got to actually play our fucking Christmas song.
It was the best show ever. I loved that show. God, it was so much
fantastic. Fun. And then I think what we were able to squeeze like one fucking show into 2020, right? And then that was
in Turra,
which was also blast. I was sick though.
That's where I think Tommy had coronavirus. Yeah,
I might have, man. I might have.
We were fucking joking that entire night about, Tommy has corona because we're fucking assholes. And then a month later,
January. What fools we were, you know?
Yeah, and it's like, that was a shitty thing for me to make light of.
Yeah,
horrible.
You know, you wouldn't be the first one. I mean,
no, I'm sure. I mean, it was a common joke and then it was all of a sudden. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Yeah. One of my, you know, at least out of this year, last year, I keep doing that. Of course, everyone else does too. But anyway, 2020, one of the best things I ever saw was, you know, at least the decline of Trump, you know, generated a lot of jokes and generated a lot of fun shit to be able to watch and listen to. But was even better was the news correspondents that would be at these rallies asking different Trump supporters why they're great and why things are going on, you know, talking to Trump supporters. One of my greatest ones was somebody went up to him and says, hey, you know, have you made more money during Trump's reign? He goes, yes, I'm making a ton more money. He goes, well, what do you do? He goes, I'm a debt collector.
Fucking asshole.
So it's like, oh, wait a second. So you're making more money because more people are in debt, and yet that's a good thing.
People. I mean, if there's one thing that has become clear, it's that people don't understand how systems interact with each other the way that you obviously do and we obviously do. And that's why we talk a lot about that kind of thing, because I think it helps to clarify things to people. That's kind of my goal.
Well, that's usually my defense when I talk to anybody about socialized healthcare. I don't want to be paying for somebody else's healthcare. I'm like, dude, you already fucking do.
You already are. Yeah.
How much in premiums do you pay every month? How much in premiums do you pay every month? When was the last time you went to the doctor? Yeah, you're paying for somebody else. Yeah, and it just baffles my mind. It's like, guys, if you don't fucking go to the damn doctor at least 5 times a year, you're not getting your money's out of it. Somebody else is paying for it. You're using yes. And
100%.
It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, it is. It would be funnier if it wasn't horribly depressing, but yeah, it's still funny.
Yeah. It just pisses me the fuck off. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, us too, man. That's what we're. Sorry if you were expecting us to be like a ray of sunshine in this interview.
You know what?
Bring it on.
Trump is so fucked, right? That normally when you have these conversations between Democrats and Republicans, the Republicans are rallying against the Dems because they're going to raise taxes, and the Republicans are always cut taxes, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm paying more in tax now than I have been in a long time, and it's because of fucking a Republican. So that's yet another that no one even talks about because Trump is so fucked that you don't even get to the tax topic.
Somebody's got to pay. Somebody's got to pay for these. Yeah, and somebody's got to pay for these tax cuts. And guess what? Tax cuts to the rich. And guess what? It's all of us.
Right.
And then what ends up
because the 40-year shift of the tax burden slowly off of corporations and the wealthy slightly and slowly over to the individual.
Yeah, because what most people don't understand is our government is for profit. I mean, bottom line. I mean, it's a for-profit government system, and it's, it's the most dumb shit ever. And so if one thing is cut, something else is going to suffer. If one thing is added, you might get something good, but at the same time, somebody else might suffer. I mean, there's lots of different things, and it's not meant to be good for you or me or anybody else who votes on a fucking piece of paper. It's for the people that write the laws and pay for the people who pay the law. That whole system of the 1%ers, and nobody understands that.
But don't you dare even think about cutting even 1% of defense spending.
No, right?
Right.
Don't you dare. We could fucking solve this fucking pandemic like next week with like a quarter of the military budget, but fucking we couldn't possibly imagine that.
There's literally no world power on it that could fight us in a way where we would even spend the money in an effective way to like defend ourselves.
Yeah.
No, look, our Capitol building just got fucking raided by Duck Dynasty.
Where does that money go, dude? Where does it go?
Where's the defense being spent? It's not being spent properly.
Right. Yeah.
But I think that's one of the issues that I've always had with, just your everyday Trump supporters. I don't think they really can articulate who it is they're being oppressed by. I mean, Tom, myself, Jeff, we all know. I mean, who are the ones that are fucking people over? But the other people are like, oh, it's Black Lives Matter, it's it's Antifa, it's all this other. Guys, come on, you've got to open your eyes here a little bit and realize who the fuck you're being oppressed by.
Yeah. Well, lately I've seen on TikTok and Twitter and everywhere else like that, they're being oppressed by big tech because they can't speak their minds without getting blocked. So one of my favorite things to watch, I love going on Republican TikTok. Them talking about how big tech is taking away their First Amendment rights. Obviously, none of them have ever read the First Amendment because that only pertains to government taking away your rights. A private enterprise can do whatever the fuck they want. And it boggles my mind that they don't fucking understand that.
And haven't they been fighting for that very thing? They've been fighting for private corporations to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, exactly.
So then what the fuck?
That's like their primary goal is for corporations to have control over every single aspect of our lives.
And then they exercise that control, and it's a big problem.
It's like the bakery with the gay, couple coming in picture Twitter as,
yeah, the bakery.
The bakery, at this point, it's the same shit. I mean,
there does seem to be like a recurring theme of like fucking shit is fucking totally okay if it sucks, like right up until it fucking sucks for me, and then it's like the biggest fucking problem on the planet. And that seems to repeat over and over and over and over again for these fucking conservative like fucking assholes. I don't see it stopping soon. But yeah,
it's Orwellian. It's Orwellian.
Like, I mean, like watching
Orwellian.
them fucking melt the fuck down over it is goddamn like fucking hilarious. So like you said, we have to fucking take like whatever kind of joy we can out of days, I think, and with
I mean, I think I've told the guys, I mean, watching the Republican Party implode is one of the funniest things I've seen in my life. But watching it implode over Donald Trump is fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
it is
over oh my god, over this guy, dude.
Over this guy, this
guy he used to tweet before he was president. He used to tweet like nasty tweets to like Graydon Carter, like about his failing bad food restaurants.
Well,
this weirdo New York real estate guy.
The thought process though behind some of these, Republicans or what, Trumplicans, whatever you want to call them, has been mind-boggling. Yesterday, after the whole impeachment stuff was done, I think his name is Crenshaw, the guy with the eye patch.
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw.
Yeah, Dan Crenshaw came out and said, while the actions of the president were deplorable and border lines on being a traitor, blah 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 blah, it's not an impeachable offense. What? Or I don't think impeachment is the option or the right option or whatever he said.
I mean,
but
to be fair to Dan Crenshaw, the country was founded on white supremacy. So engaging in white supremacy maybe isn't an impeachable offense. Maybe he's got a point. I mean, I'm just gonna throw that out there. But no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Like fuck all these people. But
the sarcasm is strong with this one.
Sorry.
My favorite thing about Dan Crenshaw is the Dan Crenshaw like trailers he puts out.
Oh, dude, that shit was amazing. Have you seen that?
He like puts
No.
out like
Dude,
these videos
look
to
it
like
up.
promote his own campaigns, and he puts these like big like high budget film trailers. This
Yeah.
last one,
He like jumps out of a plane.
Antifa training camp or something. Oh my god, that dude is insane.
It's incredible. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's a badass. I wouldn't fuck with him. I think of all the Republicans, I don't care how bad he does, I'll never talk shit about him because I'm afraid he might come to my house and just absolutely kick my ass.
Is he tough?
I mean,
I can't tell.
That is a tough motherfucker right there.
I'm gonna count on his lack of fucking depth fucking perception, and I'll take him.
Not ableist because
I know that's ableist, and I shouldn't say that and make that joke. But fuck him. He hates all kinds of people I care about and wants them to die. So I'm gonna make fun.
Just attack him from the left and you'll be all right. Just
that's what we do. That's our whole business model. Bringing it back around.
In the band with one working eye, and I'm okay with this ableism.
You can tell me if I'm being bad or not. Fuck, man.
Yeah, I only have one working eye, so I agree with this decision as well.
Okay, cool, good. I'm glad I'm safe. I'm glad I'm not canceled for making fun of Dan Crenshaw. I'm not on Twitter either, so they can't cancel me.
Yeah,
You do have to be on Twitter in order to be canceled.
Yeah, I found the loophole.
Cancel culture.
The views of the guest do not reflect the views of the host. Please do not send hate. No, I'm just kidding.
RTs are not endorsements.
Where's my lawyer letter?
You're gonna need it.
You know, aside from the joking and obviously the serious that we've just discussed, you know, aside from all of that shit, it's been a hard year period for, you know, moms, dads, you know, grandmas, grandpas, the whole 9 yards. People have lost jobs at an alarming rate, and money issues are, you know, as bad as they were during the Depression right now, you know, as right now, whether anyone wants to admit it or not. It's not a recession, it's a fucking depression, but they don't want to admit that. But I digress.
Sure.
Because of all this and the fact that our government hasn't acknowledged this kind of stuff and has only sit there and said, no, the right's right. No, the left's right. No, the right's right. And all they've wanted to do all year is argue with each other versus helping us. Has caused some of the highest death rates and suicide rates that we've ever had in this country. And that is beyond alarming to someone like myself who suffers from bipolar disorder, anxiety, and PTSD, and has had 2 suicide attempts. It scares the shit out of me, knowing that there's people out there, you know, that are just like me that couldn't pull through. There's people out there that are worse than me that couldn't pull through, or even not as bad as me that couldn't pull through. And our government has done absolutely fucking nothing. Yep. And that right there in itself just pisses me off from both sides. They've been too busy fighting themselves when they haven't been helping helping us. And I think a lot of our, you know, government officials have forgotten that they don't need to go there and work for their party. They're there to work for us. But I feel that all they do now is just do what's in the best interest of the party. Whether they want to throw them on the bus or not, they're just doing it from that benefit. And I think that sucks. And that's all parties. And I'm not saying one or the other. I'm saying all. Because it's the truth right now. Especially, it's been proven this year. You know, and that's a sad fucking fact. Look at everything that's gone downhill. You know, obviously it started with Corona, but then in the middle of Corona, we had Black Lives Matter and we had this. And then, you know, now this is going on. You know, the mental health stuff is going on. And, you know, they're still infighting. They can't even fucking agree what's going on and who's going into the White House, yet let alone decide whether or not somebody deserves an extra $10 a month in support because they need Lexapro. You know what I'm saying? And they're not doing any of that. They're just, again, caring about their party. And that just absolutely saddens me because, again, I was one of the lucky ones that survived, you know, a suicide attempt. Thousands of others right now are not. And, again, they just stand idly by and just let it happen.
Yeah.
That among all other things right now means more than anything else, and that's a sad fucking thing to say, because we still have people that, again, go back to the socialized Medicare option. You know, people are saying it's not my problem, and you know, I'm not going to help somebody else when I can't even help myself, or blah 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 blah. You know, it's again, it just really fucking sucks.
Dude, it's infuriating. It's horrible. You know, I mean, I can't argue with any of that because it's all 100% fucking true. You know, I mean, like, we talk a lot about, or like at least me, because I do a lot of fucking like the writing and shit. And I think it's important, and so that's why I talk about it a lot, to get into like how much so many things are fucking connected, like fucking like, you know, and like, you know, you kind of explained it a bit too, like fucking, you know, like you can't deny the connection between fucking like the economics we're all engaged in, and fucking like in the mental health, like kind of struggles that a lot of us have, you know, because we would all be, I mean, or, you know, I'd imagine we would all be a lot better off, you know, fucking as far as our mental health goes, if we weren't all like walking on like a knife's like for the edge, like, you know, for every single like a moment where if like one fucking part of our life, you know, goes sideways, like we're fucked, you know? So, I mean, I know for me that the moment I went from being 1 month away from fucking being homeless to being 2 months away from being homeless, like my entire world got a lot brighter. And that's like still like, it isn't all that much
what
of a change,
yeah,
but it is,
a super low bar, but yeah, awesome.
but like, you know, you're 100% like fucking right. Like, but no one wants to grapple with like the underlying fucking causes of these things. Yeah. You know, because it's a lot easier to tell people, no, you're on your own. You're 100% fucking responsible for your own fucking mental health. And you know, as a society, that's a crock of shit.
Yeah.
We're all fucking responsible for them to each other. But, you know, fucking like, you know, that's hard. Yeah. And no one wants to do the hard shit, you know, and actually work at fucking solving these issues. Like, they just want to fucking complain and fucking score points and ignore like why we're in this mess, which, you know, I'm a communist, so I say it's fucking capital, but that's just me.
And Derek, didn't you get your $1,200 9 months ago? Didn't that make you feel better?
No, my ex-wife actually took that.
Oh no! Oh, man,
brutal.
I was just kidding.
Joke fail.
No, so I didn't get it. I saw the deferment.
Did you get your $600 a couple weeks ago?
Not yet.
Oh man. Well, I'm sure as soon as that shows up, it's going to solve all your problems.
All my problems. It's actually $900. You know, because I get paid for half a child.
Oh yeah, you have the kid. Okay, cool, good, dude. You're on easy street.
Yeah,
that's good.
We filed our taxes by ourselves last year, so it was in a checking account that my wife's name is only on, because me and my wife have separate checking accounts. So this time they just didn't deposit as one, they deposited as multiple. So since my name was not on my wife's checking account, I'm waiting in the mail. She got hers. She got hers, but I didn't get mine.
Brutal.
Bastards.
That's brutal.
But I'm waiting on my debit card.
There you go.
And, you know, that $900 is going to, like, you know, buy me a new home. And just where I can settle down in the fucking countryside.
I'm buying an RV, dude. I'm just gonna get all kinds of goodies.
We're going on tour, brother.
Yeah. You know what? All the money total that they've sent me couldn't pay for the amount it cost me to have my son last year with good insurance. That still didn't cover that. It's like, I don't know. It's difficult to understand why they stopped where they stopped. Is Canada, someone hit me to this, is Canada sending regular monthly payments?
Yeah,
that was my understanding.
70% of their income that the government subsidizing.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jim made a great observation, or maybe it was Tom, I can't remember, that basically we got more money via Spotify. We did with the government checks back that we got back.
Yeah.
So I mean, literally the most exploitive business model
ever
in the history of at least the arts. Still did a better job.
Well,
Still did a better job.
here's one for you. Here's one for you. So I was let go of from my job back in July, and I've been lucky enough to start to finally be able to profit from this, and I had enough in savings. Yada yada. Where it haven't really hurt me. However, because of the way I was terminated from my job, and they lied about certain things, and ended up when I went to go to unemployment, it ended up saying, well, it's not an automatic. We have to put you in front of a deputy. Okay.
Oh, fuck. Christ.
That was 7 months ago.
You haven't seen anything yet?
Oh
Fuck,
my
dude.
God.
So it is now, January. I filed back in July. 6 months ago. So yeah. But either way. That's
Won't
how long.
somebody please fucking think of the fucking business owners, because they're the real victims of all this.
When I called, last time I called was last week. And it's not that I'm hurting for that money, but I need that money.
It's your fucking money.
my
You
fucking
paid
money.
into the system.
I called them last
you
week,
didn't
and
have to even argue about it. You paid into the system for how many fucking years?
yeah.
It's your money.
And it's not, and not
Just
this is
give
the
it to
first time
you.
I've ever had to apply for it. But either way,
It's yours.
now
You're
it's the
not a
fucking
mover.
principle of it. I
Fuck.
called last week and I said, hey, where is it at? Oh, we're still working at the last week of June. Holy fuck! It's like, damn, that's ridiculous. But yeah, but even then, like you said, Canada was sending out regular payments of 70%, but our fucking unemployment is a maximum of like $350 a fucking week, which is maybe sometimes 1% of what you used to be making.
Sure.
Who knows? And
Sure.
it's so stupid, so stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I can say for sure one of the things that turned me into the radical fucking leftist angry asshole that I am was around about because this was actually like the tail end of the recession, because I didn't get like laid off due to that until like closer to like 2012, but I ended up getting a new job working for relatively nice people, but they were fucking conservative, like fucking diehards, just because, they were, they owned a business and that's what happens. They don't want to be taxed, whatever. But they would sit there and gripe all the time about gripe all the time about fucking the moochers on unemployment. And I had been on unemployment. Almost everybody, who I know had been on unemployment, because there was like a recession. Everything had gotten completely fucked, by the banks. Like it wasn't it wasn't us, And I was just like, it's my money. You're wrong. It's like, I'm not mooching off anybody. I paid into the system for my entire fucking working life. Fuck you. Like, you're wrong, and you're being lied to that anyone's fucking taking advantage of this. It's our fucking money. And that's like one of the basic fucking things I think they fucking use to confuse people and get them fucking on the wrong side of this shit. It's our money. We earned it. That's the end, fuck it, man. God, these people they're so fucking cruel and so fucking evil. And that's what fucking, I get so, God, it's crazy. They're bad.
Well, you're expected to be a very like a rugged, individualistic kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like America drives
Totally.
that home as you're growing up, that you're supposed to just be this person. And if you're in the hole, it's because of you, and you're going to be the only person who gets you out, regardless of who put you there.
Yeah, regardless if you had anything to do with it.
Yeah, we're prescribed only rugged individualism. That's it. We don't get anything else.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, it sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it's amazing that a society fucking like that doesn't have great mental health, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't
very
that
weird.
fucking wild?
Very strange.
You believe it?
And people are still denying it.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder how much mental health would improve as an issue, as a collective issue, if we literally just got universal care for the mental health. Like it's almost it would solve
solve it a lot.
Not entirely, but
yeah.
I mean, think of how much less stress that would be to just be like, oh, if I go outside and accidentally get into some accident or something, I won't be bankrupted. I know we're talking mental health right now, but the idea that literally anything can happen to you at any time and it's just going to be your fault and you're just going to have to deal with that debt It's insane. I mean, I keep saying insane, and we're talking ableism. I shouldn't say that word. It's wild, is what I mean to say.
It is like it is, what's the word? It's extremely fucking cruel, and everything
just cruel,
is
just corrupt and cruel.
Corrupt and cruel. And that is really, God, I can't stress enough how upsetting it is to just like, when you start feeling to understand just how fucked up it all is like that. It's just like everything. It's just like layered on top of each other, like layers of that shit. It's awful.
And that's
so we write songs about that.
And that's why we started this
sing
band.
along and scream and mosh pit to it. That's what we do. Let's bring it back around.
Yeah.
Into a fun podcast for the people.
You just got me thinking about something, and now I'm looking. So, see, next, because you had me curious about something. You know, if we were able to socialize mental health care, you know, would it be better? And I was like, oh, I wonder if it would be better. And I'm looking here. The only one I can think of that's like in front of us would be Sweden, and they're number 32. But we're like number 34. But Canada is above us. France is above us. So I wonder if how much of that correlates to each other is my question.
Well, I mean, the thing is that, like, I don't see you having socialized mental health care without socialized a lot of other care. And if you do that, I can't imagine a world in which that like fucking results in being worse for fucking normal people. You know what I mean? Everyday people like who aren't the 1%. And I don't fucking like, and I don't honestly fucking care like what happens to them, because they obviously don't care what happens to us. So I don't feel any sense of fucking reciprocity to them. Yeah, I would imagine it. I mean, could it be, how it could be worse? I really don't. Like, I mean, like, I know there's people who, I mean, look, like, we all fucking like, deal with shit in our own ways and fucking process shit for like, in our own ways. And there's people whose mental health probably isn't good and who assume it is because everything is worked out in their lives and they don't, and it's like a secondary thing. I mean, I know for a lot of years, I thought my mental health was good. And then I woke up and went, oh no, it's really, really bad. I'm really suffering from a lot of shit that I've internalized for my entire life because the patriarchy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And fucks us all like that. But yeah, I don't know. I would argue it would be pretty tough to come up with a worse system than the one we're currently engaged in.
Oh, no. What I was kind of focusing on was, regardless of whether or not they is socialized or not socialized.
Yeah.
I still think there's still a huge stigma around it to where people don't want to come out and admit it, number one. But then number two, because people don't want to admit it, government officials who are working with, medical officials or just here, private with, medical, whatever, trying to discourage people from coming out and trying to say, hey, we have problems.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a stigma.
I do think it's a stigma problem on top of whether it's socialized or not, because people are afraid to admit it. I get all the time where I'm afraid to admit to somebody that I go through this kind of stuff, even when I talk about it on the radio every fucking day. I'm afraid to admit it because I don't want you to come off and think I'm crazy.
Yeah, of course. Would you expect that socializing it would be, and like, this is an honest question for you, Derek. Do you think that socializing it would make some of the stigma fucking go away? Because then, like, just sort of like by the very fucking definition of it, there's an acceptance that, hey, this is something that ought to be a public good because it affects all of us. Do you think that would help? I do personally.
I think it would help. Yeah, absolutely. But I think it would. I don't think by socializing it, if we socialize just mental health care, I think it would be more accepted. But if we just socialize all of it at once, and I think it would still go under the radar. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, again, like, I guess, like, I can't even fucking picture a world where we would socialize one kind of healthcare but not another. Like,
correct, but you see my point.
And and like, okay, so like, and like another question, I guess, I mean, I always kind of bristle at like fucking the separation of fucking like, you know, separation of fucking, you know, separation of fucking mental health care from like, you know, fucking like just healthcare, because I think it's just healthcare. You know, so yes, like, you know, so it's a non-issue. We should just let people like live and be healthy. That would be the way to solve these
that's
things.
Absolutely.
It doesn't, just make I wish we could try making life not shitty for people as like a baseline, and then see what happens. It would be cool. You know, I'm not holding my breath. That's why I'm going to keep writing these songs and streaming. But like, it would be fucking cool if we could try that sometime.
Yeah,
sometime in my lifetime. I don't know if it'll happen, but
you're not wrong. I guess, you know, from just someone who deals with mental health stuff, I'm just skeptical of anything right now because
totally.
Yeah, and it's like, is that going to work, or am I still going to suffer, or am I going to have to pay more now for my prescriptions, so I have not to pay for them at all? You know, what kind of therapy am I allowed to see? You know, there's just too many questions, and I
totally
I think that drives my anxiety even more. You know, thinking about the anxiety of this, and just you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I do, because we're in this world where like we can't even fathom that things could be better, right? It's like impossible. Fucking like, I mean, like we can imagine like living in a Mad Max fucking wasteland, like easier fucking like, you know, than we can imagine like our government actually doing things to help us. You know, I think anyway. I mean, you guys are welcome to fucking argue.
No, that's where I'm at.
But I feel like that's like an accurate fucking statement at this point in time. Like, I don't know what that would look like. Like fucking, you know. Other than that, and like the only reason that we even like, you know it's a possibility is that fucking every other fucking like civilized kind of country like fucking serves its people in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. You know, we just don't, because we're expected to be individuals, like you said, Tom.
Yeah.
Bootstraps
it.
Yeah, I mean it you know, regardless of whether it's socialized or not socialized. You know, I'm sick and tired of just being classified as someone who is under this, you know, let me rephrase that. That's not what I wanted to say. The scope of it's all, you know, still money in the pockets of the people that are providing. You know what I'm saying? And I wish people would stop trying to profit off of my health or your health or anybody else's health, and just be a normal business with like a 20% markup. Jesus fucking Christ. No, but we have to make, you know, $500 million a year and, you know, at this hospital. Otherwise we're going to be screwed the next year. It's like, really, you need 500 million? Yeah. Well, you know, Dr. Bob over here makes 2.5 million a year. So we got to make sure we pay him. Okay. Yeah. I think that's the biggest problem, because, you know, the more they downplay certain things and the more they say, no, you're going to be okay, you know, is better for them because they don't have to pay out. Yeah,
well, yeah, that's kind of how the incentives work in what we have now, and that's all kind of goes back to why we have to approach these fucking things at like, you know, at like the underlying cause, and we just don't. That's not how we do things right now. I mean, like, I wish I had a more kind of a positive like way to answer that, but it's like that's what it's at, man.
I know it is, and that's
deal with it. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. But
the system works.
Yeah, like so. Yeah, so like we have. Yeah, so like we have a slogan. The system works, and that's pretty much. That's it, man. I mean, it's going to keep us in business for a while. Not that
and that's a good thing.
But I guess, yeah. I mean, we like it.
But I guess it goes back to that old adage, you know. The government knows that there's a cure-all for cancer, but they don't want to, you know, give it to us because there's more profit in, you know, treating you versus curing you.
Totally.
You know, and so whether that's the government or private, you know, Aetna, it doesn't really matter.
Just if I could bring it back to the song that we dropped like a couple days ago, the very first line is fucking, you know, it's like fucking, you know, the more fucking they're kind of fucked up by the world, and the more kind of solutions and they have it to sell you. And I think that's one of my favorite lines I've ever written.
Yeah,
and I think it's
a great.
And I wish we had more, and I wish like more people fucking understood that. You know what I mean? But so we'll keep at it until more people understand that.
Well, you know,
And we'll do podcasts.
We're on a
We can
mission.
explain
kind of
people.
circling it all back around is going back to what I said at the very, very beginning when I said thank you for still making, putting out new music. Circling back through that and saying the reason why that is because on a daily basis, music for me is my centering point. Because if I can sit down and listen to a good song, regardless of who it's by, if I can feel a certain way, it like almost resets my brain and makes me just kind of say, wow, okay, cool, I'm fine, I can get through this. So, but after you listen to a certain song over and over and over again, it kind of starts to lose that effect. But with you guys coming out with new music this year and a bunch of other indie bands coming out with new music this year, it's meant a lot to people like me because of that fact. And so, in the days leading up to today that I, found out about you guys and been taking all your stuff in, I've been like, okay, cool, new music in my brain. I can feel good about life again and really start studying this and,
Cool, man. I'm glad.
understanding where you're coming from on the songs and stuff like that. And that makes me just absolutely love what I do even more. But again, makes me love being a fan even more because we still have awesome people like you guys making music.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, like we're
Cool,
gonna be
thank you.
putting out stuff for the next 6 months, something like that, right?
And hopefully, the next 6 months we'll write more songs so that this
Yeah.
Just keep it going. Yeah.
keep it rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've said they're probably sick of me sending all these new riffs because I literally spend like my nights just writing some riffs. I'm like, we'll see where this one goes.
They're all incredible. They're all gold.
But it's like Jim only has so much in him in the tank for writing
No, that isn't fucking true. I'm gonna be
lyrics.
angry forever. I just have to make the shit rhyme.
Yeah.
That takes a minute.
So,
But
I mean,
don't worry.
as bad as the COVID was, I mean, being locked up in our houses, I mean, it was. I think inspirational is the wrong word to use, but I mean, we definitely it put us in a different frame of mind, and the fact that we were able to even put out this music during COVID is absolutely fucking amazing. But thanks to technology and all that other stuff, we were able to do it, and I would say that I'm incredibly disappointed at bands that have a lot more resources than we do.
Yeah.
Still can't
Haven't
put
done
out any
nothing.
music, or they haven't done anything. I mean, these are bands that mean something, and they haven't done shit.
Yeah.
And you can go back to 2016 when this all started. I mean, it's been incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
At least to me, the punk rock has been incredibly disappointing since Trump took office. If anything, it's like hip hop is the one to kind of taken the reins of punk rock and gone with it. But it's like, shit, guys. I mean, I don't want to name band names, but
I'm about to name one. It's okay.
Go for it.
Whatever you gotta do.
Oh no, I mean the biggest one that I've mentioned 105 times on the show is Avenged Sevenfold.
Like, what about them? Because
So this
Have
is
they
what.
not put
to
in-
be honest, like we're not into them right
That's
now.
fine. So here's what M Shadows has come out and said in recent months. We've been working on an album. However, our one and only mixer guy is a little bit older, so we don't want him to travel. And if it takes us an additional 3 years to make this record, we're going to take that long because we can't tour anyway. And here's the biggest problem with that. So you're saying it's going to take another 3 years to get an album from you, which is, that's your prerogative. But at the same time, the last time we got anything from you guys was 2016. And so you're going to tell us it's going to be, 7 years, 8 years between just because you can't tour? Thanks. You're fans.
No, I guess you just got to make a Total Massacre your new favorite band. I don't know what to tell you. That's the only solution, right? That's the obvious answer.
Yeah, can you send a tattoo guy over and you can tattoo over my my Avenged Sevenfold bat skull?
I will find I would find a way to do that for you.
Just a big old Total Massacre
that would rock. Maybe fucking soon as COVID is over, because I don't like the optics of sending people to interact. But yeah, like as soon as it's done, your people can talk to my people, and because we both totally have people.
We do have. I know, isn't that weird?
I guess we do have people now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, technically, yeah.
Yeah,
Wild.
I think
Fucking
of
wild.
all else that I've since my show started and started doing what it's been doing, that's the weirdest part to me, to say I have people.
Right.
Not that I get 1 million downloads a month, or not that I sell a ton of merch or whatever else. No. I have people. It's like,
It's awesome.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, we're only just now embarking on not fucking doing literally every single part of this ourselves. It's like extremely new to us. We are 100% used to just fucking like doing everything. Like I do all the album art, I fucking did fucking do all of fucking the album art until fucking just now, which has been awesome because I don't have the mental fucking space for that anymore. And yeah, like we've been fucking like we all fucking do all our own fucking social shit. We all do all the like fucking Jeff has said, Jeff does all the mixing and mastering of everything we do now.
We record all of our shit in the same spot. I mean, we recorded all of our albums at a studio that just burned down, by the way.
So that's gonna be a challenge for the new.
That's going to be a bit of a challenge recording anytime soon there. But I mean, that's kind of been our ethos since the beginning of all of this. We're going to do all this shit ourselves. We're going to record it ourselves. We're going to, if we're going to make merch, we're going to make merch with guys that are union shop, t-shirts, things like that. I mean, we want to make sure that everything that we do is, it's very transparent, and it's going to help other people out. It's not going to fuck other people, I mean, playing shows at the 5-star bar in downtown LA in front of 5 people. I mean, I love that. It was great. I mean, but playing shows like when we played Punk Rock Bowling, I mean, that was I guess probably our most corporate gig we've ever had, but it was a blast. We had a great time, man.
Great.
So, but I mean, I think that's what the point I've been trying to make is that we really pride ourselves on doing everything ourselves. And at some point, like Jim said, we have to reach out to to some people to help out with maybe some things that we're not quite great at, so, and again, we really pride ourselves on doing this all ourselves, so we encourage other people too.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
So answer this then. With how politically driven you guys are, and with how obviously very opinionated you guys are, about everything in general, and you guys don't hold back, which is fantastic. Have you guys ever, discussed it amongst yourselves, or kind of taken, lessons learned from what happened with Rage being kind of a similar situation, as far as, that political stuff goes, and then mass dissident and then breakups and everything like that? How are you guys going to avoid that as a team?
Can I answer some of this?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really worry about like the breakups and stuff, because we're all kind of just doing this until it isn't fucking fun or fucking productive anymore. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, like fucking, this is a piece of art, and it will like fucking, and fucking like, the lifespan will be fucking whatever it is. The thing that I take from like bands like Rage is that you have to be like, as like fucking transparent and fucking, and like, super fucking, super fucking clear about like where you stand. Because if you don't, that's how you wind up with a guy like fucking Paul fucking Ryan, who thinks that fucking Rage is like his favorite band ever. And like, and the thing is that fucking Rage isn't like, fucking Rage obviously fucking like, obviously like fucking was explicit about like fucking what was explicit about a lot of things, but maybe they weren't explicit enough, because someone like Paul Ryan was still fucking confused about what they fucking stood for, and fucking it could, so like I approach like everything, like I don't want there to be any fucking mistake ever about where we're at on anything. So like, I would hope that if somehow some fucking confused fucking right confused like right like winger fucking hears our shit, they either they either fucking get like kind of turned around on something that fucking like, you know, they don't understand, or they like leave in a huff. And either of those is okay with me.
Either of those is fine.
But yeah, but like I will not. So something I got fucking told like long ago when I was an undergrad in fucking arts at school, because I'm a goof, because I'm a goober, you know, kind of like that. Was that it is your fucking responsibility for whether your audience fucking gets what you are like fucking communicating, you know. And so I think it's like pretty much the most important fucking job that I have in our band is to make sure there is zero confusion about anything. You know, does that make sense?
No, that really does. Yeah. You know, so fucking, you know, so I approach it fucking, you know, that way. Like, I'm going to be fucking clear about like where we're at, you know, with everything. And, you know, so far it's worked fucking well for us. Cause I mean, you know, to be fair, the majority of the people, they're on our side. You know, like, you know, the only fucking reason that fucking conservatives fucking have any power at all is because, you know, because of like fucking shit, like because of like shit like fucking gerrymandering and everything else. You know, like it's all fiction. Like we have fucking like the power. We just fucking like we don't act like it. So like we haven't encountered issues with fucking like with it. Like we're honest about our shit, and more often than not, fucking people are like, yeah, fuck yeah. So we'll just keep on fucking doing that. You know? No, I mean, seems to be working, and that's how it's gonna go. I mean, because
it'll work until it stops.
Yeah, because I mean, with somebody, you know, with a lot of these politically charged brands, it's not just, you know, rage, but like, you know, when they're really good and you see that connection, you always just, you know, don't want to see that the negative happen. So it's just like, and that's why I asked, because it's just like, you know, I would hate to, you know, the reason you guys formed be the same reason why you guys broke up. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And I hate that, seeing that in bands.
Totally. Something tells me we're never going to make enough money in doing Total Massacre to where any of us like turns into a conservative. So I think we're safe. And if we ever do, it'll just fucking like we'll just find us some kind of a way to, you know, to funnel it into like some kind of, you know, like in some kind of cause or something, and then it'll be a non-issue, and we'll keep on doing what we're doing. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I think that's awesome. Again, yeah, because that's, you know, you gotta remember where you came from and remember who your brothers are, you know, and the moment you stop, you know, caring about that and just start, you know, caring about yourself, and, you know, things happen, you know, and, you know, one of my favorite bands out of the last 5 years just lost their, you know, lead singer because of it. A band by the name of Bad Wolves. Yeah, so the lead singer's name is Tommy Vexed, and he's dating one of the most annoying conservative, you know, people out there that makes comedy videos or thinks she's funny. Nicole Arbor.
Oof, I don't know that person, but I'm sure it's awful.
If you look her up, he's dating her, but he ended up leaving the band because they didn't share his, you know, Republican, you know, conservative views, and wanted his own outlet because he didn't want any negativity coming on his bandmates for his point of view.
You know what? If I was in that band, I'd say, "See ya, buddy. Go."
I know, right?
Yeah.
That is.
Eric, I hate to break up the party, but I got to split. I got a meeting to jump into here. So I'm going to bounce. Thanks for your
Hey, no problem. Thank you.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Easy, Joe.
We can start to wrap this up if you guys got to go too.
I got to get my cat to the vet.
Oh shit.
No, I'm kidding. That's in 2 hours. I'm fine.
I was gonna say, like, is your cat okay? Is Booter all right?
He's fine. He'll make it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
He enjoys better insurance than me. Let me tell you that.
Well, either way, I mean, regardless of, again, what your political views are, who you are, where you sit, you know, financially, or where you're at in the country, at the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you know, whether it's the 5 of us on screen now or the 6 of us that were on, you know, 5 minutes ago, you know, or it's your neighbor next door or whatever. We need to just grab each other's hands and say, how do we fix each other? Because, it's not about what's good for us anymore, in the eyes of the government. So we need to start saying, well, how can we fix this together? And right now the infighting is not helping.
Yeah, fucking solidarity, man. That's what we need.
Yeah, we just need to look at each other and can we just all become purple?
I mean, I would fucking I would fucking prefer we all go hard fucking left, but that's just me. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, I don't honestly believe in, and like this isn't fucking to be an ass or anything. I'm just being honest. I don't want to compromise with people who I think don't have like my interest at heart, which I think is like most fucking conservatives. But again, I don't think there's a lot of them out there. I think it's mostly a bunch of fucking blowhards who aren't actually all that fucking much of anything, and everyone else is awesome, and everyone else I want to be in fucking solidarity with, and I want to understand that we can make things fucking better, and the small amount of people who don't have any interest in that are fucking gonna have to get out of the way, because we are gonna make a better fucking world one of these days. I don't know fucking when. I don't know if I'm ever gonna live fucking gonna live fucking see it, but it's either fucking that or we fucking go extinct. So those are the two options,
Yeah.
But it isn't gonna get solved by all of us fucking because you got to keep in mind we've been compromising with fucking we as in fucking in the left, as if fucking there's a left in this country, but
yeah,
fucking in the supposed left has been compromising with fucking the right for my entire life, which has gotten us to January 6th when a bunch of right-wing shitheads invaded our capital for literally no fucking reason. Yeah. So I don't know that that fucking compromise is a viable project. I think we need fucking to understand that we are fucking right and they're not, and we have to win, because if we don't, we're all gonna fucking die. I'm sorry to put it in black and white like that, but does that make sense? Am I crazy?
No, but I think you are the current front runner for darkest line that has ever been said on this show in 150 episodes.
Fuck yes.
You just made his day.
That's what
the red letter
brother.
day.
That's what I'm here for.
We've said some dark shit on this show, but that just took the cake. I'm going to get you a plaque, bro.
Fuck yeah. And I'm going to get you a tattoo artist to fix that. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, hey, look, I mean, that's just how my brain's wired. I'm sorry, I can't help it.
It's fucking perfect.
Cool, brother.
I mean, I feel you. It's difficult to imagine wanting to compromise with these people who have so clearly shown that we don't have the same things. But I also completely want the vision you have left.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know what you meant. Yeah,
people who feel the same thing, but we do need to look out for each other. But how do you come together on this idea of solidarity and looking out for each other when the person 6 months ago was advocating some disgusting belief about how you should actually be dead? Oh, you need insulin? Well, you pay for insulin. You don't get insulin. How can I possibly as maybe as a diabetic, how could I possibly compromise with that person?
Yeah,
it's difficult, but I do, don't get me wrong, I do want to see what you're proposing.
Yeah, the idea is nice.
It's just perfect world.
Yeah, that would be nice.
My anxiety brain loves to just shoot high, but accept low.
That's a good way to that works. I can roll with that.
The only way you're ever gonna achieve even close is you gotta achieve strive to hit that perfect.
You gotta shoot for the moon and land among the stars, my friend.
Exactly.
Or see, I can be positive if I really want to.
Shoot for the moon and land in inner space. That's fine too. However you want to look at it, as long as you can see the curvature of the Earth and know that the Earth is not fucking flat, then you get, that would be worth your time.
No, man. We have to compromise with flat earthers because they might have something valuable to add to the conversation.
I would rather,
I'm just giving you shit now.
No. I would rather side with like Donald Trump than a flat earther.
Are we sure he's not a flat earther?
Yeah, he's probably one
good deal of crossover there.
That dude was one tweet away from being a flat earther.
And now we'll never know.
We'll never know.
So sad.
We'll never know.
I've never seen The Edge. You've never seen The Edge? No one's ever seen The Edge?
You go up on a plane, it looks flat to me.
A week or two ago, there was actually a lady who was arrested for trying to go to the edge.
Like the Truman Show, it was Skywall.
Yeah, no, it was some lady in Italy. She kept crossing over into waters that she wasn't allowed to be in because there are some protected waters around Antarctica, and they kept taking her back.
Her assumption was that if she went over it, she would drop off the edge of the earth.
No, I don't know, but there really is, because of the way Antarctica is protected.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, don't go there, you'll be fucking arrested and shit. So she went there 4 different times. Each time they brought her back, and they said, don't do that again. And then finally the 5th time, the Italian police said, okay, yeah, you're going to jail.
It's a conspiracy. They don't want her to know.
They just don't want her to know.
They don't want her to know the truth.
They don't want her to know the edge.
Still,
they've been very unfair to the woman.
Very nasty.
Very nasty
from Antarctica's authorities. Very unfair.
This interview is just fucking gone like right off the cliff of the flat world as we started impersonating Trump being a flat earther.
I was just making a dumb comment. We started talking about it.
I know, we fucked it up. Sorry. We're a little punch drunk.
No, that's fine. I opened up a door to a whole other side of this conversation that I didn't realize I was going to open.
That was a bad move. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Don't mention more shit to add to the conversation.
No. But yeah. So thanks for having us, so we could make fools of ourselves.
No problem. I made a fool of myself right along with you.
Show. But
we did have some good times, and we talked about a lot of important stuff as well.
Man, I'm excited to get to expound upon stuff that I can't always do in like a 1.5 minute hardcore song. It's kind of cool to get to explain things a little more.
Absolutely.
It's great, man. This was a blast, and I hope some of your fans are into what we're into, and it's great, man.
Exactly. Just getting ready to say, all the links, all your stuff is in the bio of the video and the podcast. So check out the links.
Beautiful.
Check out Total Massacre. You guys are fucking badass, and I have enjoyed this conversation. So thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much, man. We've enjoyed it too.
No problem. Well,
awesome.
You guys have a great rest of your fucking days, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, man. Sounds good. Take it easy, brother.
No problem. You guys have a good one now.
Thanks.
All right.
Peace.
Peace out.
That was a lot of fun, man. Thanks.
No problem, man. Have a good one.
Great time, dude.
All right, guys, and that's our fucking show. Thanks again to my guests, Total Massacre, and the ridiculousness of the conversation we just had. But regardless, thank you so much, guys, for being here. You know how much I love you. Please come back again tomorrow. Same time, same place. But until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, stay fucking heavy. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.